Welcome back, finally, to Syracuse campaign. Um, so I, and yeah, I'm finally back with the Syracuse campaign. My game stopped working for a long time. I just had terrible lag issues. I couldn't play, but it's finally fixed now. So I am back with Syracuse campaign. I'm so excited to be doing this, and I know a lot of people, a few people, not really a lot, I guess. A few people asked me about it, so I know I will have at least a few fans excited that I'm doing this again. But I actually recorded this episode, and then I'm an idiot, and I realized I forgot to record my voice while I was doing this episode. So I'm gonna do a voiceover now as I'm watching the episode. So if you remember, if you watched the last episode from a long time ago, we had Cosentia under siege. It's currently held by the Ligurians. So I'm gonna assault that shortly. Here I was kind of thinking about what I was doing. I was planning on bringing reinforcements up from Syracuse because my forces in Italy, they're not weak, but compared to all my enemies, the Ligurians, the Etruscans, and RDIE, whatever their name is, I don't have nearly the strength in Italy that I need to win the war. But I was going to attack Cosentia here. If I can secure southern Italy, then that would definitely be helpful, so I can keep bringing in troops from Syracuse. So that was my goal here. The Ligurians had quite a force themselves, though, so I knew it would be a tough battle coming into this. So hopefully, I was contemplating right here. I was contemplating whether or not I should go ahead and assault or wait for them to attack me, because I assumed that they would sally forth, but I chose to go ahead and fight. But they sallied forth. You can do that now in Rome too, and fight in the field. So this battle will be in sort of an open, plainy area. So you can see the Ligurians have a decent early age army. They got some short swords, spear warriors. They got a couple ballista, and a pretty decent amount of Celtic skirmishers. And you can see my army there. I have a few hoplites, a couple pikemen. My other army is a bit weaker. So this battle definitely would be tough for me. You will about to see what happens, though. Pretty intense battle this one was. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just watch. You'll enjoy it. Alright, so choose the day. I didn't want to fight in the rain. Alright, so I was starting up on this hill here, and the Ligurians were starting in that little valley below. So my whole strategy was just to take advantage of the high ground. So I was going to start on this little ridge here, since it was a little bit higher. I was thinking the Ligurians would attack me, and so I was going to hold a defensive position here, and then have my second army come in and flank them while my first army was holding. But early on, I decided that plan was not the best, so you're going to see me try something different. Does it work? I don't know. You'll watch and find out. So yeah, I'm really glad to be doing this series again. I haven't been able to play Rome in at least over a month, probably a month and a half. It was really upsetting me. I didn't know what happened here. My game suddenly like froze for a second. I had to alt tab out to my desktop, and it was weird, but it fixed itself. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't know what went wrong. My game all of a sudden just started lagging really bad, and I would get like 5 frames per second, but it only happened when units clashed, and even after patch 9 for a bit it didn't work, even though the patch 9 was supposed to fix some of that. So, but I just tried it today. I played one battle and it worked really well, so I was like, I'm gonna keep doing my Syracuse campaign. Unless you listen to my general speech here.
Remember that a cornered rat can still bite. Now, await your orders.
Yeah, So here I am. I'm going to move my army up over this ridge so I can be facing downhill. My second army over here, I'm going to run them as quickly as possible as I can to the fight. I have one ballista in this army. It didn't really end up playing much of a factor just because I couldn't get over there. I couldn't get it over there in time. It did decently for ballista, but unfortunately it didn't play like a vital role like I was hoping it would this battle. You'll see though. Doing voiceover commentary is harder than doing live commentary. In a campaign, at least. In multiplayer, it's a little easier. But, yeah, so you can see here the Ligurians split up their army into two, of course guarding from this army, and then they would face the second half of their army to watch my reinforcements. And they're going to go ahead and open fire with one of their ballistas. And at this point I realized they were content to just sit there and bombard me, so I decided to go ahead and just charge downhill, hoping to use the elevation advantage and really just the strength of my hoplites to do some damage and hold the line while my reinforcements could get there. And I knew I was outnumbered. It was definitely a risk, but I feel like I had to do it, especially since the second ballista was opening up fire now. Now, the ballistas, they're pretty accurate. In fact, too accurate, I think. But they weren't really doing that much damage, and I think I could have been able to wait. If you're playing in multiplayer or in campaign even, and the enemy has a ballista, you know, you got to be careful of them. But sometimes they're really not worth the money, and they don't get as much kills as you'd expect. So it really all depends on terrain. But if this was a multiplayer battle, I probably wouldn't have charged as recklessly, but it was the campaign. I was fighting the AI, and I was probably underestimating the AI skills here. So you can see I just did a blind charge downhill. My army got kind of disorganized, that was really my first problem in this battle. I just kind of let my army get all over the place, and you'll see I make a pretty big mistake here with my general. I sent my general out wide to guard the flanks, since he was just the closest unit there. That was a pretty bad idea. You'll see what happens. So, if you focus on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see my general getting absolutely destroyed with javelins when I just noticed it. He already lost like about a fourth of his guys from one volley of javelins. And, I quickly withdraw him, and I'm like panicking right now because my general's dying, my army's really disorganized, and my pikemen, they need to get a pike phalanx or else they'll get screwed in a fight. So I'm panicking right now, and fight already not looking to go my way. But I try my best to get my pikes in pike formation, because if they do get in pike formation, they will be able to hold the line for quite a while. The Ligurians do not have enough troops, or they have enough, I'm sorry, they don't have the quality of troops to be able to just use brute force to get their way through a pike line, even just the standard crappy pikes that I have. But you will see in a second, as soon as I do some reorganizing here, only one of my pikes was able to get in pike phalanx, and that really hurt me this battle. So one of my pikes held the line, and the other one got destroyed pretty badly. And that would definitely have a big impact, because I would have to commit all my hoplite forces sooner than I'd want to, and I want to be able to really get as much outflanking done as I could, because they were, you can see the cavalry were starting to chase down my skirmishers, and I just wasn't able to protect my skirmishers because Like I said, my army's just really disorganized, and I was having trouble getting them back in line. When I saw one of my pike units just absolutely collapse almost immediately, I just committed all my hoplites to stop the Ligurians from completely breaking through my army here. So at this point, I'm like thinking I just got absolutely destroyed, even with my reinforcement army on the way. But you'll see what happens. I kind of start getting my skirmishers in order. They do a pretty good deal of damage, and you can see my reinforced army getting really close here. So once they get there, that could definitely help turn the tide of battle in my favor. But even though my hoplites are vastly outnumbered right now, you can see them doing pretty decently. They are losing, but they're holding off the Ligurians, and that's really what I need them to do at this point. Just hold off until my reinforcements and before my reinforcements can get there, and outflank them. Because if I get them surrounded on both sides, then the morale of the troops that they have, they're not that good. Barbarian morale overall is not good, even on some of their elite units, but their weaker units definitely aren't good. So that's really my one hope in this battle right now, because I'm getting absolutely demolished at this point. But they did only have light, or skirmishers rather, to hold off my light hoplites. So my light hoplites and my reinforcement army are breaking through pretty quickly. It looks like the battle's actually lagging in the video. I think that's just my editing software. Hopefully it doesn't look laggy on YouTube. But anyways, yeah, so my light hoplites broke through their skirmishers, which they sent out to protect their flanks. I guess that's just a typical AI mistake. But you can see what happens, like, immediately when all my light hoplites get into their backs, their units are just going to start breaking pretty quickly. You can see right now they just all started wavering on that left flank there, or I guess right flank from my side. But the way you're looking at it, it's on the left. So yeah, they're just like chain routing all over the place now. So suddenly I think I'm going to win this battle. But you can see their right flank is still holding strong. That's where most of their spear warriors are, and their spear warriors were definitely their best unit that they had this battle, beside their Oathsworn generals, of course. So it's still kind of even right now. The Ligurians are winning the right flank. I'm winning the left, but I do have a lot of skirmishers left, and that's helping me out right now. However, you're going to see me make one pretty big mistake here, and that's because I didn't see the amount of spear warriors they had left. I thought that most of them had routed. Actually, I thought that they really had skirmishers left. So I think I'll do it pretty soon. Yeah, you're just going to start seeing me like select all my units right here and tell them to just charge their skirmishers, because I thought I didn't see those spear warriors at all, and that's really a big mistake on my part, because while my guys aren't even facing them, my guys are just running right towards their skirmishers. Their spear warriors are just going to start cutting my hoplites down. It wasn't until right here that I noticed that they still had all these units left, so I quickly tried to order my guys back to fight them. But I think it was kind of late at this point. They got a lot of kills when I told my guys to disengage from that fight, and that really would end up costing me the battle here. So you can see I'm trying to do anything I can when I see all my units start wavering. I send my skirmishers down to try to just flank their spear warriors, but yeah, a lot of my units are wavering right now, so you can see I really threw this battle away when I thought I had a chance to pull off an amazing victory. Because I was losing pretty badly early on, but I made an amazing comeback and then just kind of threw it all away with that one stupid move. It's not over yet, but you can see they still have a few skirmishers left, and then when my general died, their skirmishers were just going to start hammering my guys with missiles, and that was pretty much the end of the battle. So I do end up losing this battle. It turned out to be a Pyrrhic victory for the Ligurians. So, was charging down the hill good for me in this battle? It might have been. I don't know. It depends how many casualties I would have taken from their ballistas. If they had charged me, then I absolutely could have won. But I felt like I needed a charge, and that may have cost me the battle. But what really cost me the battle was just my poor management in the early stages when I was disorganized, and then that dumb move when I didn't see all their spear warriors left, and I just told my guys to do an all-out charge. So yeah, when you're fighting a battle, keep your guys organized. That's probably the first and foremost rule on how to win battles. Just keep your army organized, and secondly, don't make big mistakes. You know, you can recover from some small mistakes like I did, but that big mistake there cost me that battle. But we lost that battle, so the war is not yet over. The Ligurians, they do not have a lot of units left in southern Italy, since their stronghold is up in North Italy. In fact, I don't even remember how they got Cosentia. However, we are still at war with the Etruscans and Ardeae, or I'm just going to give up on saying their name. So, southern Italy is still definitely in a pretty tense situation here. You can see one Roman army remains. They are my allies, of course. And I'm actually going to do something pretty funny once I end the turn. Yeah, right now I'm just doing some reorganizing of my armies. I decided that since the Ligurian army was so small after their victory that I could just buy some mercenaries and attack the city. So here's where I screw over the Romans. The Romans were asking for my help to take Cosentia, but I declined. And then they lost the battle. And then Ardeae, whatever, they come and finish off the Romans there. I didn't help the Romans because I wanted the city. Even though the Romans were my allies, I was being pretty selfish. So you can see the Romans getting finished off right there. So I basically just screwed over my Roman allies for my own selfish reasons. Pretty funny though. Hang on. Yeah. So here, the Ligurians actually came out to attack me, and I decided to simulate the battle. Since it said I would win, and I didn't trust my own skills on beating them, I'd probably do something to mess it up and cost me my 2 remaining armies. So, yeah, this is at this point, this is when I decided that I would have enough guys left to take over the city once I hired a few mercenaries. But, just waiting for the turn to end here. And it is done. Okay. Alright, so I'll notice here in a second that and once I click the message, I'll explain. So factions went to war. So Garamantia, they went to war with Egypt. So that could be in the future. That could definitely be some foreshadowing to some future campaigns in northeastern Africa. We could be at war with Egypt very shortly. Since Garamantia, I believe, is my ally. I think I made allies with him. I don't know. It's been so long since I played. But yeah, but right now I'm content to focus on the Italian front. Hopefully I can finish taking off Cosentia here. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take all remaining units from that second army there. You'll see me in a sec. I take a while to decide here what I want. I ended up picking the horse steed, and like I said in like the first episode, I'm using a mod for traits and stuff. It's made by like Hellbent Toadies or something like that. It's a cool mod. You should definitely check it out for campaign. Yes, I'm going to hire some mercenaries, and then I'm going to combine these two armies, and I'm going to send the Southern Army back to Sicily and just retrain some good units there, and continue to my push north into Italy with both armies.
Dogs, ready for battle.
But
we cannot follow this order. Make haste, men.
I still have a disadvantage in this battle, but that's actually going to be the end of this episode. I fight the battle in the next episode. You have to see what happens there. It was a pretty good, fun battle too. But that's the end now. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more episodes. They will come shortly. But that's it for now. Have a nice day.